It was a cold, foggy evening in the small town of Blackwood. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the distant ticking of the old clock tower. Inside his dimly lit study, Detective Henry Grayson sat by the fireplace, sipping on a cup of tea. His sharp eyes scanned the newspaper, but his mind was elsewhere. The town had been peaceful for years, but something felt off tonight. Just as he was about to retire for the night, there was a loud knock on the door. Startled, Grayson opened it to find a young man drenched in rain, his face pale with fear. "Detective Grayson, you must come quickly. Judge Harrow is dead." The man gasped. Judge Harrow was a respected figure in Blackwood, known for his fair decisions and strict sense of justice. Grayson grabbed his coat and hat and followed the man to the judge's mansion. The mansion was grand but eerie, with its tall windows and dark corridors. Inside, the judge's body lay slumped over his desk in the study. His face was frozen in an expression of shock, and a single gunshot wound to the chest had ended his life. The room was in perfect order, with no signs of a struggle. Grayson examined the scene carefully. On the desk, he found a half-written letter. It read, "To whoever finds this, know that my final verdict is not what it seems. The truth lies in the..." The letter ended abruptly. Grayson frowned. What was the judge trying to say? He turned to the young man, who introduced himself as Thomas, the judge's assistant. Thomas explained that he had come to deliver some documents when he found the judge dead. "Did the judge have any enemies?" Grayson asked. Thomas hesitated. "Well, there was Mr. Blackwell. He was furious when the judge ruled against him in a property dispute last week. But I can't imagine him doing something like this." Grayson made a mental note to speak with Blackwell. He then noticed something peculiar, a faint smell of smoke in the room. Following the scent, he discovered a small, burnt piece of paper in the fireplace. It was too damaged to read, but Grayson suspected it might be connected to the case. The next morning, Grayson visited Mr. Blackwell. The man was gruff and uncooperative, but he had a solid alibi for the previous night. He had been at the local tavern, and several people could vouch for him. Frustrated, Grayson returned to the judge's mansion. He decided to search the study again. This time, he noticed a small hidden compartment in the desk. Inside, he found a key and a note that read, "The truth lies in the clock." Grayson's eyes darted to the old grandfather clock in the corner of the room. He inserted the key and opened the clock's hidden panel. Inside, he found a stack of documents and a diary. The diary revealed that Judge Harrow had been investigating a powerful crime ring in Blackwood. He had gathered evidence against several influential people, including the mayor and the chief of police. The judge had planned to expose them, but feared for his life. The half-written letter and the burnt paper suddenly made sense. The judge had been trying to leave a clue before he was silenced. Grayson realized that the killer was someone who knew about the judge's investigation. He recalled Thomas's nervous behavior and decided to confront him. When Grayson returned to the mansion, he found Thomas packing his bags. "Leaving so soon?" Grayson asked, his voice calm but firm. Thomas froze. I have to visit my family," he stammered. Grayson stepped closer. "You knew about the judge's investigation, didn't you? You were working for the crime ring all along." Thomas's face turned red. "I had no choice. They threatened me." Before Grayson could react, Thomas pulled out a gun. But Grayson was quicker. He disarmed Thomas and pinned him to the ground. With Thomas in custody, Grayson handed over the evidence to the authorities. The crime ring was exposed, and the town of Blackwood was finally free from their grip. As for Judge Harrow, his final verdict was clear. Justice would always prevail, even in the face of darkness. And Detective Grayson? He returned to his study, ready for the next mystery that would come knocking on his door.